As you can see, we won't be planting any corn for a little while. Ay, ay, ay. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my video from yesterday. Some crazy things happen when we can't do a whole lot here. Anyway, situation report. So far on the loader, you can see what I painted. Got around to the front. I didn't quite finish that cylinder there. You take notice, I didn't finish taping it off. Kind of went around it. Did my best with newspaper and painter's tape to try to keep the red off of the hydraulic hoses, because I don't want to paint the hydraulic hoses. That tends to look pretty rough. We got this side, I think I told you, have it painted all the way down to the bucket. I am going to paint this bucket. I'm going to take it off the tractor to do it because I'm going to paint it black. Just kind of roughly sand it down, put some primer on and some black paint. It's going to get rubbed off, but like the back side and stuff, it'll look nice. Moving around onto this side. This side I have painted all the way down to the bucket here. The back side of the lift cylinder or the dump cylinder, I got underneath where the pipes are. We got all along the top here. I got all these letters cut out and taped over, so we'll be able to peel them off pretty soon. I'll do another reveal. The 2200, of course. Started filling in here. It's kind of too dark even to show up on camera here, but anyway, started painting this loader frame on this side. I think I've gone about as far as I can go now. I've got to finish putting the dash back on the tractor, get it started, and get it by the door basically, so I can lift these loader arms in the air and get my sheet over the engine and primer and paint the inside. I can't paint it the way it is now that it's down. I think it'll be high enough. All I need to do is lift the bucket up and then set it on the cutting edge and set it back down, and we should be up to about here's where I'm looking to be able to paint, so I can get the inside done, get the back side of the hydraulic cylinders, and the loader should be done. So I didn't really want to paint this loader. I'd commented to a few guys that painting loaders are a pain, especially if you're fussy and you don't want to get paint on the hydraulic hoses. So that's where we are with that. Once it's by the door and I have the loader arms drying, I'm going to start to tackle taking the rear tires off and working on these ugly looking fenders. You'll notice I have taken these, oh, excuse me, maybe you can't see down in there, the side plates, the bottom deck plates. Those are actually, come around here, those are actually here. They've been primed and painted. You can see you have the little lock for the hydraulic remote. So they're done, they're finished, they're ready to go back on. I've also painted these side wings that go on. I repainted them black because they had pretty much rust on them. Like I say, you guys know the hood was done. I still have to glue this piece back in, this foam. All the heads of the bolts, couldn't be simpler. Just stick them into a piece of cardboard and hit them with paint. All those little screws there are for the two side pieces around the operator's controls. These are two of the bolts for the hood and some more hood bolts. So I have them all painted. You can get new ones, but it's so easy to paint those. It doesn't take very long at all. So that's the situation report on the 395. Now, moving on to another one. Okay, so we're going to stare out the door here and talk for a little bit. All right. So we have gotten another inch of rain with that storm that we had last night. And it poured last night so bad. It was just thundering on the roof how hard it was coming down. You can see again, the field's flooded. It's flooded at this end. It's flooded out there. There's standing water now in this field, so it'll take a couple days. There is drain tile. I was up on the hill today, and we have some standing water up there, if you can believe it or not, any of the low-lying areas. So I did some scouting, walking through some of the fields, and my weeds are back. Everything that was there early that I hit with the early herbicide, there's new stuff there, and it's almost as green as well, you can see it's starting to green up out there, but it's just about as green as, not quite as when I started, but pretty close. So today all day Of course, it's the day after all that rain. I kept going up to see if it was dry enough to go start spraying again. And it just hasn't been. It hasn't been dry the entire day. Of course, one day to dry off after an inch, it's not enough. So I'm going to look to see tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I can get back out. I really want to get more herbicide on. I want to keep up the fight against the weeds and stay ahead of this crazy weather that we're having. I do not want to have the weeds that I had last year. So I won't have my 14-day window again, probably until they plant. Maybe I will. The weather forecast looks pretty rough. So as you guys know, I've said it many times, my problem weed is that mare's tail, and it is back. It is coming back at the edges of some of the fields, scattered throughout the fields. So I am going to reload the sprayer and come around here. Yesterday when it was pouring down rain, I used that little tote that I have and I bailed some water here on the back of my pickup and I filled the sprayer. So even though it was pouring down rain, I couldn't do anything. I got the sprayer full. So maybe tomorrow we are going to unhook this spot sprayer and hook this back up, get the herbicide back in for soybeans. I think the corn ground I'm going to let go for a little while. I want the most time for the soybean herbicide. I want the most time to pass before they plant because that's a little bit harsher herbicide. The corn ground, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna come back with some Roundup, and with Roundup you don't have to wait really. I don't think, they might recommend it, but I don't worry about it. So I'm gonna hit some of the cornfields with some Roundup. So just don't know. It's just, I'm kind of beyond complaining, but still not having anything planted, and June's coming. I know you can plant corn in June. Probably won't be 105-day corn like we usually plant here. Just about everybody around here does 105-day. So with standing water and muddy fields, we are grounded still. So I don't know.